Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood and sports updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos that uncover the real stories behind the headlines. Today, we're diving deep into a controversial and emotional revelation, shaking the NBA community to its core. The moment when two of basketball's fiercest warriors, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, were branded as overrated by their fellow NBA players. What does this mean for their legacy? What are the hidden truths behind this harsh label? And why now? Stick around, because this is going to be intense. In a world where reputations are everything and legacy is immortal, the NBA stands as a theater of gods and gladiators, men who have devoted their lives to excellence, sacrifice, and the pursuit of greatness. Among them, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green have carved out names that echo through arenas, locker rooms, and late-night highlight reels. But now, those names are being dragged through the mud. Not by critics, not by fans, but by their own peers. This week, a shocking anonymous player poll, conducted by The Athletic, sent shockwaves across the basketball world. 90 active NBA players were asked to vote on one brutally simple question: who is the most overrated player in the league? The answers weren't just revealing, they were damning. Jimmy Butler came in with 5.5% of the vote, and Draymond Green wasn't far behind, tied with Bradley Beal, Ja Morant, and Julius Randle at 4.4%. But the real question isn't just the numbers. The real question is, why? Why have two men who have put their blood, sweat, and pride into this game been judged so harshly? Let's start with Jimmy Butler, the embodiment of grit and grind. A player who came into the league without the flashy pedigree of a lottery pick. Without the privilege of media hype, Butler clawed his way from a tough upbringing in Tomball, Texas, to stardom. He led the Miami Heat to multiple deep playoff runs and was often hailed as the heart and soul of his teams. His toughness was never in doubt, his intensity undeniable, his ability to rise in big moments legendary. Yet here he is, voted as overrated by the very people who share the court with him. Could it be jealousy, or perhaps fatigue from his relentless swagger? Maybe it's the way he dominates headlines, even when his stats don't always explode off the page. Critics argue that Butler's regular season numbers don't match the hype, but fans and analysts know Jimmy is made for the playoffs. He is not a player who lights up scoreboards every night, but when the lights are brightest, when seasons are on the line, Jimmy Buckets becomes a different beast. And what about Draymond Green, the fiery, sometimes controversial voice of the Golden State Warriors dynasty? A defensive genius, a playmaker, and a vocal leader who isn't afraid to tell it like it is. Even if it means getting ejected or fined, Draymond has 4 rings to his name, a Defensive Player of the Year award, and countless game-changing moments that don't show up in box scores. Still, some players see him as overrated. Why? Because he doesn't score 25 points a game? Because his antics overshadow his stats? Or is it because he's the guy they love to hate? The one who's not afraid to get into their faces, to call them out, to break their rhythm with words and tactics? Draymond's greatness has always defied traditional metrics. His value isn't measured in points, but in presence, in chaos, in control. And yet, here we are. His name etched on a list no player wants to be on. Let's be real, the term overrated cuts deep. It implies that your legacy is inflated, your accolades undeserved, your contributions less than what people believe. And when it comes from your own peers, it's not just painful, it's personal. But maybe this says more about the league than about Jimmy and Draymond. Maybe it's a reflection of a younger generation that doesn't understand old-school toughness, a league moving toward finesse over ferocity, a league that celebrates the new, while sometimes forgetting the foundation built by the relentless. As the backlash to the poll results rolled in, fans took to social media in defense of both players. Jimmy Butler is the last of a dying breed, one user tweeted. Another wrote, Draymond Green is the reason Steph and Clay could be themselves. Without him, no rings. The emotional outpouring proves one thing. While some in the league may cast doubt, the fans have not forgotten. Even Warriors fans, who have been critical of Draymond's volatile moments, including his infamous punch to Jordan Poole, rallied around their leader because they know what Draymond brings. He brings fire. He brings fear. He brings wins. And let's not forget Jimmy Butler's 2023 playoff performance when he torched the Milwaukee Bucks as an 8th seed and willed his team to the finals. That's not the resume of an overrated player. That's the mark of a competitor who knows how to seize the moment. But maybe, just maybe, that's exactly why these players got voted. Because greatness threatens comfort. Because competitors like Jimmy and Draymond don't just play, they intimidate, they agitate, they dominate in ways the stat sheet can't quantify, and that makes them targets. Draymond responded to the poll in classic fashion by brushing it off. I don't need their validation, he said. My rings do the talking. And he's right. You don't become the voice of a dynasty by worrying about whispers. As for Jimmy, true to form, he remained quiet, focused, stoic. The kind of silence that speaks volumes. He's too busy preparing for another run. Too focused on proving them wrong the only way that matters, on the court, because in the end, that's what both of these men do. They silence doubt with defense, with leadership, with the kind of unselfish hustle that builds champions, not headlines. So, to the players who voted Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green as the most overrated, are you sure you know what greatness really looks like? Because if passion, sacrifice, and unrelenting fire are overrated, then maybe we're watching the wrong game. The truth is, Daily Gossip believes that labels like these are fleeting, but legacies are forever, and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, love them or hate them, are leaving legacies that cannot be erased. Thanks for watching Daily Gossip. If you think Jimmy and Draymond are misunderstood legends, drop a in the comments. And if you're as fired up as we are about this poll, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an emotional deep dive into the world's biggest stars. See you in the next one.